Hello, hello, hello. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. And oh my lord, this is going to be a fun filled day. This is going to be fun. This one's going to be fun. So, we got some things to talk about. We really do. So, with that being said, I hope everyone is ready because to the people on YouTube, you see the question. You see the question. Am I right? Am I wrong? Which one is it? Has Trump done more in 48 hours than Biden did during the 4 years he was in office? Oh, we're going to get into this. So, with that being said, we will get this thing started like we start everything else. And yes, I'm still in the process of getting a new intro, but we'll get into that here in a moment. So, let's get started like we start everything. All right. We got a lot of things to talk about today. Gone but not forgotten. Judge Cannon issues another smackdown of Jack Smith and the Biden DOJ. Oh, you got to love it when stuff like this happens. Despite the dismissal of the classified documents case against President Donald Trump and his co-defendants, Walt Nauta and Carlos de Oliveira, in July on grounds that special counsel Jack Smith was appointed and funds for his work were appointed in violation of the Constitution and the subsequent dismissal of the case altogether by the Biden Justice Department as to Trump. The case remains pending on appeal as to Nauta and de Oliveira. And in the waning days of the Biden administration, there was a mad scramble over whether or not Smith's final report could and should be released. Uh oh. Uh oh. And Judge Cannon pretty much told them to get this crap out of here. Judge Cannon told him, get this crap out of my get it out of here, is what she said. Never before has the Department of Justice, prior to the conclusion of criminal proceedings against a defendant and absent a litigation specific reason, as apparent in this case, the case itself, sought to disclose outside the department a report prepared by a special counsel containing subjective and voluminous case information until now. Oh, nicely done, nicely done, nicely done. These statements do not reflect well on the department. This is not a historical practice or of providing the assertions. Yes, she pretty much tells them prosecutors play the Department of Justice's position on defendant's emergency motion as to Volume 2 has not been faithful to that obligation. In other words, now, of course, the DOJ can appeal, but she smacked them. She smacked them, and you got to love it. You really do got to love this. Now, let's get into this. There's a lot of things going to happen now. Let's get into this. And everything is provided in the descriptions. DOJ to investigate state or local officials who have struck immigration enforcement memo. Trump's DOJ wants federal prosecutors across the country to investigate sanctuary city officials who have struck immigration enforcement. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. The Justice Department wants federal prosecutors across the country to investigate state or local officials who have tracked immigration enforcement under President Donald Trump's new administration, according to a new memo obtained by Fox News. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. This is going to be so much fun. Really is. In the memo, Acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove, Trump's former defense attorney, outlines interim decisions and policy changes pending the confirmation of Trump's nominee for U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi. He said interim charges are necessary as the initial response to Trump's executive orders regarding three of the most serious threats facing the American people. Oh, yeah. So, hello, young lady. We're back. We're back. So, they are not very happy. These people ain't very happy, but I love it. I love what is going on right now. And let's continue. Trump's executive orders on immigration prove Biden could have secured the border at any time. Miss Cindy D, my question for you. You see the question, you see the title of this. Do you agree with me or disagree with it? Chaos on the border and mass illegal immigration were policy outcomes the Biden administration chose on purpose. One of the first things President Donald Trump did after being sworn in at the inauguration Monday was sign a series of executive orders on immigration and the border. A few of them stand out because they demonstrate how the border could have been secured at any point over the past 4 years by the Biden administration without any action or legal legislation from Congress. It's almost like they wanted this. They wanted this to be their destiny, is what I think. But I could be wrong. All right. This isn't, it wasn't a, that it wasn't is a testament to the fact that Biden and the Democrats wanted mass illegal immigration. They wanted chaos on the southern border, and they wanted the we'll get to the drug cartels here in a moment. We'll get to them cartels because we do have a lot of things to talk about today. But yes, this is going to be, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Now, let's continue. I shared this yesterday, and I'm going to share it again today because there's more information about it. Illegal immigrant unalived border patrol near U.S.-Canada border. And yes, I did this yesterday, but I want you guys to realize it's not just the southern border. A U.S. Border Patrol agent was reportedly shot and unalive by an illegal immigrant during a traffic stop in Vermont on Monday, shortly after President Donald Trump's inauguration. And in an update shared Tuesday on social media, Bradley said sources identified the deceased Border Patrol agent as 44-year-old David Molland, according to Fox News. The Department of But yeah, so now let's go to them drug cartels. Let's talk about those cartels. There's a reason behind all of this. Drug cartels named terrorist organization as Trump declares national emergency. And here we go. We'll watch this.
This is actually an executive order designating the cartels and other organizations to be foreign terrorist organizations.
That's a big one.
Yes, sir.
People have wanted to do this for years. So they are now designated as terrorist organizations, foreign. And Mexico probably doesn't want that, but we have to do what's right. They're killing our people. They're killing 250, 300,000 American people a year, not 100, like has been reported for 15 years. It's probably 300,000.
Oh, now that's a good thing. I'm going to say this now. That is a good thing. I really do appreciate him doing that. All right. All right. Now, the thing with this, I'm showing this because they want heads. They are mad right now that they was not able to do something. For pardon J6 defendants from PA, a new nightmare might be looming. My advice to all of them, stay away. Stay away. President Donald J. Trump pardoned or commuted the sentences of some 1,500 January 6th defendants. They've been released from prison for engaging in a little riot, which, contrary to liberal fake news, did not result in the deaths of any police officers. Capitol Police Officer Ryan Sicknick was not unalived in the melees. He died of natural causes. The only person who died was a protester named Ashley Babbitt. Huh. Yeah. All right. Yet, breaking left-wing DA in Philadelphia, Larry Krasner seeks state charges against January 6th Sixers, pardoned by Trump to ensure they are prosecuted. Larry Krasner dropped charges against Philly rioters from the riots of 2020. It's almost like they want this to happen. It seems to me this is something they want to happen. But let's confirm. Let's continue. We're gonna go. We're still talking about January 6th. Believe me, there is a lot of these. Mike Lee confirms despite Trump's pardon, many J6 prisoners remain in jail. Well before Donald Trump's long-awaited inauguration, he told us of his plan to, according to Senator Lee, it's true. Let's go.
So I wanted to ask you, you tweeted something last night. Is DC ignoring Trump's pardons? If it is, then this is definitely a time to repeal DC home rule. You had me at the word repeal. DC's government has no right to exist constitutionally. Congress shouldn't have delegated its lawmaking authority over DC. It's time to take it back. I love you. Okay, tell me what this means.
What this means is that Congress needs to do its job. We've had a problem for a long time with Congress delegating its lawmaking power to unelected, unaccountable bureaucrats. We've got a corresponding problem in that we're supposed to be the lawmaker for the District of Columbia. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, sometimes known as the Enclave Clause, gives us that power. We've been delegating that to the DC government for about a half century. The results have been disastrous. The results have been a government that doesn't serve the interests of the people well. It's a radical leftist regime that runs it. Their schools are failing. Crime rates are soaring. And last night, from what we can tell, after Trump issued a pardon for a number of prisoners involved with January 6th, there were only 2 released last night. And I spoke to someone last night who had gone down personally to the DC jail, saw that only 2 of them had been released, and jail officials at the DC jail announced that they wouldn't be releasing any more last night. Now, this is not hard, Glenn. They have names and they have pardons. They can identify those prisoners who have been pardoned. Trump's directive was that they were to be released immediately, as one should when one sees that somebody's been pardoned, and they still weren't out. So we're still trying to get names, numbers, and verify that this is how this is happening. But from what we can tell, they haven't complied with it yet. It's yet another reason to revisit DC's home rule, which I think should be repealed.
People, they don't like that we've turned things against them. They want these people to suffer. But it's very interesting that they did not release them.
That's extraordinary. That they would be that bold and say, because everybody was watching them last night. He was watching CNN last.
All right. But yeah, I think I would agree with them. I mean, they really don't like that the American people are showing up and showing out. All right. Now let's go to another pardon that President Trump did. Trump pardons Silk Road creator Ross Ulbricht. On Tuesday evening, President Trump kept a campaign pledge to cryptocurrency industry by granting a full pardon to Ross Ulbricht, founder of Silk Road. The infamous dark web marketplace not only served as a hub for illicit sales, but also emerged as one of the first real-world applications of Bitcoin. Ulbricht, 40, had been serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole since 2015, after he being convicted on charges that included distributing narcotics and conspiring to commit computer hacking. Almost. And they wonder why. They wonder why. But yeah, that is an interesting one. Let's continue. This is going to be interesting. Winning. DHS dismantles Ministry of Truth Advisory Board. Ministry of Truth is gone. I, for one, have not yet grown tired of all the winning. As I suspect our readers have a second win for more too, especially when this win means we all get to stay in the game rather than have the federal government shut us down. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Hello, wildlife. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome to the golden age of idiocracy. Are you talking about the Democrats and what they're trying to do, or are you talking about the MAGA people? Which one is it, mister? Oh. But yeah, this is going to be. But yes. The win this time came at the Department of Homeland Security, which is days away from getting newly appointed Secretary Kristi Noem installed. Word has reached DHS that the new sheriff is in town anyway, and this one plans to put an end to the government censorship via politicized fact check. The acting DHS head has put an end to the last of the Ministry of Truth functions pushed by the Biden administration. Yeah. All right, let's continue. We got more. Now, I want to show you this because I want you to hear what this woman says. Trump watches in disbelief as Bishop scorns him with, oh, for crying out loud. Yeah.
Millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and...
Ma'am, so are you saying that's all they're good for? So you're telling me you want to go and have these people, because a lot of them, when they're here illegally, actually get less. So you want people to get paid less. This is why these people continuously are losing all of this.
And meatpacking plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals. They may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful to the stranger. For we were all once strangers in this land. May God grant us the strength and courage to honor the dignity of every human being, to speak the truth to one another in love, and walk humbly with each other and our God for the good of all people in this nation and the world. Amen.
And they wonder why they lost. They wonder why they lost the 2024 elections. Oh, for crying out loud. Are these people just. Now, let's continue. Yet more. White House OPM orders all DEI offices to begin closing by the end of Wednesday. All DIE federal workers to be placed on paid administrative leave by the end of the day Wednesday. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. The Federal Office of Personnel Management, OPM, notified heads of agencies and departments that they must begin taking steps to close all diversity, equity, inclusion, and equity DIE offices by the end of the day Wednesday, and place government workers in those offices on paid leave, Fox News Digital has learned. The acting director of the Office of Personnel Management, Charles Enzel, sent a memo to heads and acting heads of departments and agencies on Tuesday evening, directing them by no later than 5 p.m. Wednesday today. Here in about a half hour, actually. January 22nd, they are to. All right. Now, there's a reason why I'm showing this with Trump. There's reasons behind all this. FCC Chair Brandon Carr shreds Biden area diversity equity policies. Federal Communications Commission Chairman Brandon Carr on Tuesday announced the termination of the agency's Biden-era diversity, inclusion, and equity policies in the weeks after his historic election to become the 47th president. Trump picked Commissioner Brandon Carr to become the next FCC chairman. As his first order as chairman, Carr called for the ending of the agency's DIE Group, formerly known as the Communications Equity and Diversity Council, CEDC, which then Chair Jessica Rosenworcel instituted in 2021. All right. Now, we're not done with them because we're finding out what they're going to try to do. We're finding out these people are so duplicitous. I see a lot of people saying DIE is dead. It's not. It is not. Hello, Jacob. It's not. It's cornered and in position to die, but we must be punishing and relentless in finishing the ideology off. No mercy. Mercy allows it to survive and grow anew, to terrorize future generations. Lots of work left for us to do. And this is the absolute truth. The majority of them, yes. And even the violent ones, they spent 3 or 4 years. Very true. Very true. And that's the thing. I want you guys to know that this does not stop. We continue the push forward with all of this. Hey, Kid Freshie. Could Antifa been working with the Biden administration so they didn't get charged? Could they have got everything riled up and not be charged? There was 26 confidential human sources in the audience. There were 26 confidential human sources from the FBI in the audience. How many plainclothes FBI officers were there in that audience? What about Ray Epps? Why did the FBI not go after him until the upheaval of the American people? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, and 3 of them had permission to be inside the Capitol. I wonder if they were in the Capitol before any of the before the tear gas started the riots. Just saying, there's a lot more to this than what you think. And yes, I do my research. Trump reforms could radically overhaul, consolidate federal workforce. On his first day in office, Trump issued several executive orders cutting the size and cost of the federal workforce. Blah, blah, blah. President Donald Trump wasted no time following his January 20th swearing in to sign dozens of executive orders, including 7 specifically aimed at fundamentally changing the culture, cost, and size of the federal workforce. Most immediately, Trump ordered the 2.3 million career civil service government employees to report for work at their official duty stations, thus ending the teleworking started in 2020. A second order directed federal officials to freeze all hiring for positions vacant as of January 20th and bar the creation of new jobs. The federal government hired 631,639 new civilian workers from 2020 to 2024, an annual average of 126,327, according to FedScope. So 10,000. I do know how to read, my friend. Yeah, gotta love it. Gotta love it. Is that the best you got? Is this the best you got, Mr. Kid? Is this the best you have? My dead grandma could come up with better stuff than this. Come on. Come on, sir. Come on. Keep coming. Keep bringing it. Troll. But trolls' lives matter. Troll lives matter. Trump drops a late night post torching lead pastor who lectured him during prayer service. 144. Rebecca will have a much longer post on this later today, but who does this woman think she is? Bishop Marahan Budd opted to use the inaugural prayer service to lecture President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance, urging them to spit in the faces of the American people who elected them to deport criminal illegal aliens, secure the southern border, and enforce immigration measures. Huh. Hey, since you know so much about the Christian values, can you tell me, did Jesus ever get upset and overthrow tables? Did Jesus ever get upset and flip tables? You come and tell me, what do you think? Did he flip tables? He later posted on True Social a little past midnight this morning, torching Bishop. The so-called bishop who spoke at the National Prayer Service on Tuesday morning was a radical left hardline Trump hater. She brought her church into the world of politics in a very ungracious way. She was nasty in tone and not compelling or smart. She failed to mention the large number of illegal immigrants that came into our country and unalived people. Many were deposited from jails and mental institutions. It is a giant crime wave that is taking place in the USA. Apart from her inappropriate statements, the service was very boring and uninspiring one. She is not a very good person at her job. Oh, for crying out loud.
These woke Scapalians or Episcopokians or whatever they're calling themselves today, this is ridiculous. This was terrible. Donald Trump, I'm sure, regrets participating in this event today, to be lectured to and politicized in a church this way. And I thought it was, frankly, a disgrace to what they did at this event. I don't know if this event will happen ever again because of this. This particular bishop took it upon herself to turn this into a complete and total circus and spectacle. And I don't know any Republican today who's like, oh, wow.
Well, it was a very
really
long.
good. People are people. Laws are laws. And she was asking him effectively to ignore the immigration laws of the country, which is, I guess, her political preference. And she's also asking him to ignore his own political and personal values, and also to ignore the vast majority of Americans who have a different point of view on these issues. I agree with you. It's her right to say that. I would just say, I think she did her church, which is different today than it used to be, no favors today. And I don't think she did her political causes any favors today in the way she handled it.
And yes, I have her. No, I didn't. Oh. Oh, sir. Kid, is that the best you have? I'm not looking anything up because I'm actually doing my stream. But I already know you don't like. freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, freedom of the press, and freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to petition the government, freedom of the press, and freedom of the church. No, that's religion. I know there's 5. I always forget the 5th one. Press, assembly, assembly, the 4th Amendment, on the thing. All right. The 4th is search and seizure. 5th is criminating. I can't think of it right off the top of my head. Hey, kid. I got one for you. I got one for you, sir. I got one for you. No, you think just because I don't know it, that makes me a fraud? Can you tell me something? Did the Supreme Court get the overturning of Roe versus Wade right? Did the Supreme Court get that right by sending it back to the states? You tell me. Trump warns a possible 10% tariff on China by February. President Trump first announced the plan to impose tariffs on China in November 2024. The U.S. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that he's considering imposing a 10% tariff on Chinese imports in response to China's failure to curb fentanyl trafficking into the United States. Trump, who was sworn in for a second term on Monday, said that his administration could start implementing tariffs on products coming from China as early as February 4th. So you don't believe in the 10th Amendment? So you don't believe in the 10th Amendment? There you go. Sending it back to the states was the right thing to do. Why didn't flag burning is allowed, and I don't know when it, I think it might be the 1960s or 1970s when it happened because of the protests of Vietnam. But I don't know off the top of my head. At least I can actually admit to that. All right. Scrapping Biden bucks. Trump pulls federal government out of election meddling. The Biden bucks executive order directing federal agencies to boost voter participation has gone the way of the Biden administration. President Donald Trump eliminated Executive Order 14019, which President Joe Biden signed in March 2021, calling for the federal agencies to partner with private voter agency groups to develop strategic plans. Is that the best you got? Is that the best you got? Is that the best you get? Is that the best you got? Is that the best you got? Is that the best you got? Come on! Come on! You get better. You can do better than this. You are better than this. I believe in you. I believe in you. Unlike Joe Biden to Peter Ducey, I believe you got better stuff. Come on. Come on, sir. Come on. Bring more. Bring more. Is that the best you got? Is that the best you got? What if I do? Kid Frenchie, what if I do? What if I do have a speech impediment? And I don't think I'm slurring my words. And no, I'm not drunk. I have not had a drink in years. But is that the best you got, sir? Maybe because my biological liberal mother tried to have an abortion. So go, bye. So you're going to pick on somebody that might have a disability. No, that's not why I'm angry. I'm actually a pretty happy guy most of the time. But come on. Come on. Trump signed what amounted to an omnibus executive order that scrapped almost 80 executive actions taken by Biden. The title was Initial Recessions of Harmful Executive Orders and Actions. No. How am I bullying you? I'm giving you free speech. I'm still letting you speak. I don't have to. The reason I like Trump, and I didn't vote for him in 2016, the reason I like Trump, so did he, when he marked that disabled reporter, did he, I got a question. So was he marking him when he did the same motions to Senator Cruz? How about when he made it the same gestures to Jeb Bush? But come on. Come on. You're better than this. You can do better than this. And I'm just doing this off the top of my head. So was he making fun of that reporter when he made the same motions to Senator Cruz when Senator Cruz got caught in a lie? Uh-oh. I might know a little bit. I might know just a little bit of what I'm talking about. But yeah. Congressional scrutiny and watchdog groups such as the Foundation for Government Accountability, which sued for records on the order, were enough to slow roll implementation of the order to ensure that people and not biased bureaucrats decided the 2024 election, said Stuart Whitson, Senior Director of the Federal Affairs for the Foundation. So, please show me where he's marked everyone. Trump orders termination of electric vehicle mandate. The 47th president called for increased American consumer choice while eliminating certain initiatives by prior administrations. President Donald Trump ordered the removal of initiatives for electric vehicles and promoted market choice for consumers as part of the executive orders issued on his first day in office. And the Unleashing American Energy Order issued on January 20th, Trump said that burdensome and ideological motivated regulations have impeded the development of Americans' abundant energy resources, limited the generation of reliable and affordable energy, reduced job creation, and inflicted high energy costs upon our citizens. In conjunction with the executive initiative, the electric vehicle mandate will be eliminated and true consumer choice will be promoted, along with the removal of regulatory barriers to motor vehicle access, according to the order. Hey, kid, I'm going to say this to you right now. The thing about it, most of my life I was a Democrat. I was a liberal. You bought into their lies. I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. I'm a conservative. I am a conservative. I'm not either one. But I know what the establishment wants. They want people like you to be useful idiots. Oh. They want the establishment, people like Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell, want people like you thinking it's about one side or the other. No. It's about the American people versus the global elites. There's a reason why Mark Zuckerberg, they see the writing on the wall. The thing with all of it, you're one of their useful idiots. Keep coming after people. You wonder why Harris lost? Might be because Joe Biden made the statement that Trump supporters are garbage. That might be a reason why she lost. Another reason she might have lost is because people found out what she said as AG of California about going into people's homes and making sure their guns are locked up. The thing about it, I know more than I say. Yes, I have a speech impediment. I have some hiccups. But the thing about it, you don't see me calling you a loser or a cunt. You don't see me doing that. You know I know I won when someone start calling me names. And that's what you did. I don't call people names. But what do I know? Let's continue. Trump brings back the Winston Churchill bus back to the Oval Office. Good. The thing about it, these people say they are the tolerant. No. When you go against their narrative, they don't like it. Just saying. A bust of Winston Churchill's head has been in the game of political football for over 15 years, with Democrat presidents removing it from the Oval Office and President Trump putting it back. a bronze likeness of British wartime leader and scourge of Nazism, Sir Winston Churchill, given to America by the British government in July 2001, has been returned to the Oval Office again as part of President Donald Trump's inauguration redecoration. The redecorating of the Oval Office for an incoming president to reflect their tastes and needs, changing curtains, for instance, the large oval rug over the decorative timber floor has been a normal part of the inauguration day handover. The presence of the bust of Churchill has become a political matter. Having sat in the Oval Office after being made a gift in 2001 for 7 years, the bust was removed by President Barack Obama upon his inauguration in 2009 and replaced with one of Martin Luther King Jr. Let's continue. I wonder if this is going to piss people off. What Elise Stefanik said at her confirmation hearing will make the UN nervous. Rep. Elise Stefanik, President Donald Trump's pick to act as his America First enforcer at the United Nations. Uh-oh. Brought to her the heat to her Senate confirmation hearing before the Foreign Relations Committee, based on what Stefanik told senators Tuesday morning. Turtle Bay better brace for the fired up New York Congresswoman if she is confirmed.
We should never tolerate any U.S. taxpayer funds going towards terrorism. As in my question with the ranking member, Shaheen, I was one of the members that voted to defund UNRWA. I was one of the leaders in standing for that important appropriations vote, which there is a bipartisan consensus on, with significant members, Republicans, as well as some Democrats who voted to defund it. I think we can look to organizations within the UN system, such as UNHCR, such as the World Food Program, working with USAID, which are proven organizations. They still need, reform efforts and modernization, but don't have the terrorist ties that UNRWA had, particularly that were exposed during the October 7th Hamas attack against Israel, whether it was Hamas's leader Sinwar carrying an UNRWA teacher's passport, or whether it was the UNRWA office above a Hamas data center, or individuals within UNRWA who participated in the terrorist attack against Israel on October 7th. So that I fully support the president's commitment to defunding, and I'm proud to have voted for that in the Congress.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Because if you look at the anti-Semitic rot within the United Nations, there are more resolutions targeting Israel than any other country, any other crisis combined. And we have
But the thing about it, I don't think any innocent civilians should be harmed either way. Let's continue. Fetterman votes with Republicans to advance Hegseth. Says he won't switch to GOP. Senator John Fetterman said that he has informed leaders of the Democratic Party that his party affiliation is not going to change. Senator John Fetterman voted on January 21st with Republicans to advance the nomination of Pete Hegseth. President Donald Trump's choice for defense secretary, he said that he will not switch to the Republican Party. Fetterman was the only member of the Democratic Party to join Republicans in passing a motion to proceed with Hegseth's nomination. Every other Democrat who voted, as well as the two independents in the Senate, voted against advancing the nomination. That's an interesting one. Democrats hijacking Doug Collins' confirmation hearing to push extreme abortion agenda. And the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee held a hearing Tuesday to consider the nomination of Doug Collins to lead the agency of the same name. While Collins and Republicans focused on the department's shortcomings and the well-being of American veterans, it's clear some of the body's Democrat members had only one issue in mind: the ability to unalive unborn children. Yeah. Throughout the 3-hour long hearing, Collins fielded an array of hostile questions from Democrat senators about the future of pro-abortion policy enacted by the Biden Department of Veterans Affairs. Specifically, the leftist lawmakers wanted to know whether the Trump administration would repeal the rule. Wonder why. Wonder why. Why Nancy Pelosi can't say what she said about Trump's January 6th pardons. Rep. Nancy Pelosi, Democrat, California, flew into a rage over President Donald Trump's pardoning and commuting some 1,500 Americans who were ensnared by the FBI's overreach concerning the January 6th riots. It was an action long foreseen through liberals need something to whine about as their only crutch regarding the 2024 election. Tonight, the California liberal took to social media. Tonight, the president announced pardons and commutations of sentences of those who violently attacked the Capitol and law enforcement officers on January 6th. Well, Miss Pelosi, the thing about all of this, you are the one that had this happen. You are the one, because of your insistence into doing something during your phrases about 2020. Well, Miss Pelosi, Democrats can't say anything about future Trump pardons and commutations after Biden's last-minute act of corruption. Very true. That is very true. Let's continue. Despite Biden's pardon, Anthony Fauci still faces legal perils. Here they are, with Republicans running both the Senate and House. Investigations of Fauci will likely continue. Joe Biden's pardon of Dr. Anthony Fauci may protect the former National Institutes of Health official from immediate criminal prosecution, but some critics say he is not completely out of legal jeopardy and that the public sentiment might still condemn the man who became known during 2020 as Mr. Science. Yeah, Mr. Science. Oh, these people. And the days before, all right. The pardon addresses any related offenses and is back to 2014, the year a U.S. ban on so-called GOF virus research took effect. Fauci has been accused of outsourcing the research to China. Uh-oh. And for the last one on YouTube, Meltdown, far-left MSNBC host sees the new reality and she doesn't like it one bit. Well, Rachel, maybe you shouldn't have lied to people. MSNBC host Rachel Maddow suffers on-air meltdown over Trump's plan to sign executive order ending birthright citizenship. Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Sign dozens of executive orders and executive actions about energy and the border and discriminating against transgender people and making it easier to fire federal workers and stopping the ban on TikTok, even though that ban is actually law and executive orders can't supersede the law. Former House Speaker John Boehner, former House Speaker Newt Gingrich, his wife Ambassador Callista Gingrich, excuse me. Trump's aides have also said that Trump will sign some sort of executive action or order today to stop birthright citizenship. Now, birthright citizenship is the core American precept that says if you're born here, if you're born on American soil, you're a U.S. citizen. That is a provision that is explicitly in the Constitution in the plain language of the 14th Amendment. But Trump today will reportedly try to abolish it with an executive order, even though executive orders can't override the Constitution, just as executive orders.
Uh-oh, Rachel.
Hello and welcome.
Oh, and they wonder why people are done with the mainstream media. They wonder why people are done with the mainstream. Because of people like Rachel Maddow, people like Don Lemon, people like so many others. To the people on Rumble, I will be with you here in a moment. To the people on YouTube, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hope you all have a great day. And please remember to be good to one another because we are in this together, no matter if you're left, right, or center. I will be back with you here shortly to continue the Daily Show on Rumble, but I have something I have to do.